Hello there. My name is Gilbert Velasquez, and welcome to our little podcast adventure. Uh, Rebecca approached me explaining her idea for the show, and I gave her my support. She said we could discuss things like music and everything that applies to it, okay? I have the resources to do this, and I support whatever we can do here to kind of further the genre, okay? But I did want to say that the opinions and views and comments said on this show do not have anything to do with my, whatever it is I represent. This is what you would call a disclaimer, okay? So I look forward to the show and everything that goes with it, and just keep that in mind. People are free to say whatever they want here. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what I think or say. And let's see where this goes. So there.
Okay, welcome back to another Gibby's Tejano Roundtable. This is our fourth installation, and got a really great panelist here today. It took us a while to get this panel together, and we know you haven't seen us for a while because we had Tejano Music Fanfare was in town. Some people won some awards this weekend, which is also really exciting. We have one of those award winners here today. So let me go ahead and introduce you to the panel right now. We have Mr. Juan Trevino. Has a new single out called Hey. He's a multi-Grammy award winner. You've won regular Grammys and the Latin Grammys as well.
Just the Latin Grammy.
Just the Latin Grammy? And great job. I've been researching you, all the songs that you've written. You wrote a song for Elida, you've written for DLG, you've written for like
everybody.
I've been blessed. Yeah, I've been blessed. Written songs for Monica too.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I think Emanuel's about to record a couple.
You have a gift.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
We're working
thank
on
you.
something.
Congratulations on all your success. Thank you for being here today. We also have Miss Demmi Garcia, who is a shining up and comer. Oh my goodness, you've just you hit the ground and you started sprinting.
I'm going
Yeah, you've been on a radio promo tour right now promoting your first album. You did a quartet or a quintet. There's four of you or five of you with Shelley.
Oh, four of us.
There's four of us.
Yes.
Yeah, quartet.
A quartet.
You did a quartet with Monica Saldivar.
Well, quintet if we count you.
Well, I did a little bit of background vocals in the back.
It's still there. A lot of bit. What are you talking about?
I did a little bit, and there's a little bit. Anyway, and that song has been #1 on multiple charts. So I've been keeping track of that too. And I actually bought. I'm probably the first person who bought the single because I was waiting for it to come out. So congratulations on your success. Success. Welcome to the table, Miss Demmi Garcia. Monica Saldivar, congratulations on your win. You got Best Female Vocalist, New Female Vocalist of the Year, the Tejano Music Awards, and you just got finished performing at the Fanfare and a few other places as well. I've been following you on social media.
Thank you.
And you actually recently, the mention of your name made a TikTok go sort of viral when Miss Shelley Lades talked about the single that you'd released being a ballad that got over 9,000 watches so far. Is that views?
It's incredible.
Yeah, it got 9,000 views. And I have so many questions for all of you guys. First of all, y'all are all newcomers, and I want to know how the industry has been treating you. So without further ado, thank you, Miss Monica Saldivar, for coming. And also Emanuel J. I got it right this time.
Right. yep, you got it.
Emanuel J. actually did backup vocals for an album that you recorded here in this studio with the best producer in the world, Gibby Velasquez.
The best. Emphasize.
And you, as the same, there isn't a situation that I've been in where your names have not been popping up. So y'all are on the tongues of everybody's mouth right now.
That's pretty
So
cool.
I wanted to bring you all
Thank you, y'all.
together because y'all are it right now. This is, I mean, it. To me, in my mind, there's been like a group of people who have headed off the Tejano music industry, like period, from day one. They've been massive stars, and I always thought in my mind, who's going to be the next big thing? And I feel like I've sort of have that here today, like the new mega icons of Tejano music. And I only feel this way because I see how hard you guys have all been working through social media and traveling all over the place doing interviews. You're going to be featured on a couple of other interviews here in San Antonio. So y'all are putting in the work, and that's one of the things that we've been talking a lot about here on the Gibby's Tejano round rectangle table. We're gonna get a round table one day.
Eventually.
I like it better this way anyways. We're just gonna change the name to Gibby's rectangle table. But you guys really have been putting in the work, and you have been not just traveling to all the different radio stations and doing all the promos, but you have been in contact with each other, building each other up, which I think is the most important thing. And I don't know if, because I wasn't around, but I was around back then, but I was a kid, but I don't know if that sort of camaraderie was exactly the same back in the 70s and 80s as it is so prevalent today. It seems like there's this new surge of support amongst each other. And I don't know if it's because of shows like this. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and it's sort of forcing us all to confront each other and talk to one another and realize
Meet
that
each other for the first time.
meet each other for the first time, exactly, and then be like, you want to do it? You want to do it? You want to do it? Do it? You want to do it? You want to do a project? You want to write a song for me?
Do it.
Yeah, do it. So having said that, with all the projects that you have on your table right now, when you were looking for a producer, what is the most important, I guess, accolade that you look for? Is it price? Is it recognition? Is this, what are you looking for in a producer? But you write and produce all your own stuff, though, right?
Yeah, like I've
Cheater.
I've
I'm just kidding.
I've been playing music since I was a little kid. It's in my blood. So I've learned different instruments throughout my life, and I've been in bands. I've been there when somebody else is producing the band. So I got the experience to where I thought, let me do it myself, and it worked. As far as songwriting, I started doing it late 90s, but also for necessity because they wouldn't give me any songs like the established songwriters. And I just got good enough to where I started showing them to other bands. As I opened up for other bands, that's how I made the connections. And I was blessed that little by little they started recording my material, and that's how I got, a little known here and there, and then started working with, the bigger artists, and more artists start wanting your music. So I've been blessed in that way, but the producing comes with the same, just trying to do it yourself. At a certain point, you're going to get good at it.
Would you say you've established a sound that is your own?
On my songwriting, yes. My music, I try to do different things. Whatever I'm into at the moment, when I'm producing a new album or music, that's what shows up on my song. Like the new single, Hey, if you pay attention to it, I was listening a lot to Chicago. So it has that keyboard sounds,
makes
the
sense.
vocals, the
Makes
horns
sense.
in the back. That's whatever I'm into at that time, that's what I'm going to produce.
Right.
So I try to not listen too much to the Tejano, because then I don't want to sound like somebody else.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
and it's hard not to, because
Yeah.
there's
Right.
the Tejano has its own set of guidelines for their
Sure.
sound, and how do you distinguish yourself amongst the fray out there? There's more music coming in today than there was like about 10 years ago. So I believe they said when I was talking to BNet Radio, they said we used to get like 10 or 12 new songs, because now we got like 35, 40 songs that we have to pick from. All these new artists are coming up with all these new singles. So now we have to really be selective. Whereas before, we're like, we don't have any new music. get it, whatever you can get your hands on,
Whatever
and we're
you
putting
can.
it on the air because there's nothing else out there
Right.
other than just replaying all the old favorites.
Yeah.
So I think at this point we're getting to that point in Tejano music where it's sort of starting to saturate, and we can be a little bit more selective, which also means that we can be more competitive.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, I like you guys, but I would like to beat all of y'all. I'm just kidding. But that is what creates those new methods and those new sounds, is that bit of competitive edge.
Yeah.
And we're just finally getting to that point where we can start competing with each other, but be friends.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that you're able to get from the ground up. You write the song, you find the musicians, you produce the song, you have in your mind what you want it to sound like, and what does it feel like once it gets done, and it's exactly what you thought, like, yeah, that was it. That was what I wanted to put together, and there it is. And not only that, it's on the radio. Look at that. It's successful. I did everything on there.
Yeah, I mean, the radio part, it's like the cherry on top.
You're like the Prince,
No,
right?
not even
Yeah,
close.
you're Prince. You're
No,
Prince.
even
I played all
close.
the instruments.
No, I think
I'm going to buy you a frilly
I
shirt.
think it all has to do with the production.
Uh-huh.
All these people here, they paid for a producer, for a great
You don't pay
studio.
yourself? Just kidding.
Well, I record everything at home, and I don't mix or master because I don't do that, and also I won't even try it. But my best friend since high school, he's a teacher and he teaches audio engineering in Houston, and that's what he also records drums. I record everything else, so it has to do with a good song and good production, and I think that's what the artists who are getting known right now are getting known because of that, because it's quality work.
Quality.
It's not a. You hear a lot of material out there that sometimes, even if it's on the radio, I can't listen to it because of the quality of the work.
Right.
Right.
And I think people are picky, and people are also getting to that stage to where they're not gonna let anybody in, just because you have a song on the radio. I think it has to be a good song and a good production behind it.
Absolutely.
And to you as well, what is it that you're looking for in a producer? Did you listen to the radio and be like, I want this sound, and I want to make it a blend? Where did you find the songs that you're recording?
Well, I'm I produce all of my own stuff. So I've never worked with an outside producer before. I don't know what that experience is really like. But I would imagine that it would definitely, what I would look for is a difference in sound. I don't want it to be the same producer that has done everybody else, because then you're going to start sounding like everybody else. But that's kind of my short answer. I don't know if I'm a good person to answer that question, because I've never
But
worked
you-
with a producer before.
You studied at Berkeley. You studied music
Yeah,
at Berkeley,
I do,
correct?
Yes, yes ma'am.
So awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
know.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's-
I know. I'm all like, oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I saw that on your About page, and I was like, what? Oh,
Yeah,
man. Then I started really getting nervous about today. I was like, oh, crap.
Oh, man.
Then I saw
that's
the
what,
post where she won the new female vocalist award. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
What am I going to talk about? I don't know. But that had a big role in just being able to produce your own stuff then.
Yeah, and I grew up, my parents are both musicians, they're both songwriters, and that's who my team is. We have our own production team, me, my mom, my dad, my stepdad, and my uncle. We write all of our own music, and I've never covered somebody else's song before professionally. Everything is original, and that's kind of where I want to keep it. But yeah, I would imagine, because like Juan said, I think quality absolutely matters, and I think that's kind of where our genre fell off a little bit.
We were trying to rush to get things out so we could have stuff on the air, kind of deal.
The quality of not just the actual songwriting, the production itself, but the quality of the recording. It's just fuzzy. It's not on time. It's very very minor things that really should have been paid attention to.
Yeah.
That weren't.
Maybe at some point people were just like, I don't care.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's where it was too.
Yeah. This vocal, it
good.
sounds fine to me.
Yeah, and I think
get
that's
a lot
what
of
it
that.
was.
Sounds fine, I
The
guess.
thing is that it's super easy for you to put your
Yeah.
music on the platforms now,
Right.
so people
It's
can
super
download them and
accessible.
listen to them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
anybody, you can just do it, record anything at home, and just upload it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nobody to tell you, no, it's not good.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
you shouldn't put that out
exactly.
there. And then we're also supportive
need more
of each
people
other
like
too.
that.
Sure.
We've got to that point where like, no, it sounds great.
Yeah, and I
Sounds
think that's
really
where
good.
I think that's kind of where our genre is making the right move. Is the expectation for a certain standard.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain standard that's hopefully getting there, expected, and I think that's kind of where it's kind of going in the right direction.
Yeah. Shelly told me she didn't like some stuff that I did. She was like, I don't know about that song. I don't know if I'm going to record that. I was like, okay, all right, I won't do it then.
And sometimes
Shelly
it can
said.
be that way.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you
it
know.
can be intimidating because, I mean,
Yeah.
you look up to certain people. Like, I've looked up to Shelly. I've looked up to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you.
Yep.
I've looked
You've
up to so
influenced
many
a
of
lot
the
of people, man.
female artists, you know, and talking about quality and talking about, you know, setting a standard now in today's time. Just like what you were saying, like people just releasing things just to have music. We were in desperate need of it at the time.
Yeah, we
And
were.
nowadays, it's not the case. Nowadays, people are being picky. They are wanting to hear something more than just your typical song that's going to make you dance. And, you know, like whenever I started doing music, I went about it looking for like the right producer and the right songwriter. And I think like one of the first things I prayed about, because I did, I was like, I've been listening to all these different songs, but let's look at the producer and let's look at the songwriter. And one of the first songs that I got to sing was actually written by Juan Trevino, and it's Este Dolor.
Bam.
You know, and
Song
so
is a
I was
jam.
getting all excited because I was like,
Beautiful.
I'm finally meeting him for the first time today.
You never met him?
No, we
We've
hadn't
never
met.
met.
I've
Oh,
never met
wow.
him either, man.
Yeah.
No,
never
and
met.
I
so
was excited.
getting to work with Mario Ortiz, you know, he has a standard of quality in his work. And so I was super excited to release a single. And, you know, my album took 5 years to make. It wasn't just something that I just decided to release and that's it. I wanted there to be a standard for my music. And so that people could actually listen to something that's going to make them feel more than just dancing or happy or
shows.
sad. And
Yeah,
It shows.
it does.
thank you.
I think also too, there's been a buildup of anticipation for your music because we've all been following you somehow on social media. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, does she have the album out? Oh, well, when? Oh, okay, it's gonna come out soon. Oh, okay. And then you did the project with Shelly, and then I was like, okay, these girls are like freaking awesome. And then you killed the guy at the end. And
Yeah.
then,
Did we, though?
well, yeah.
Did we?
Dun,
I like to
dun,
think.
dun.
I like to think. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I feel like you guys have had that exact amount of anticipation build up coming to the releases of your projects, and I love that feeling. That's something that's sort of been missing. Where before, oh, somebody put out a new project. I didn't even realize they were working on anything.
Right.
Whereas with you guys, with social media the way that it is, we get to
Exactly.
watch the process and have it build up. Oh, she's about to come. She's doing a pre-promo tour, and she's going all over the place. I better get a T-shirt. And
Right.
Yeah.
It definitely helps. Social media, online, Instagram, TikTok. Now, TikTok is a big deal.
It's a different animal.
It is a whole different animal, but
Yeah.
it reaches so many more people that we weren't reaching before.
I have a question. Do you guys have your own personal page, like anonymous, and then you have like your fan page, or is it all just one big thing?
I mean, I have my
Really?
fan page, but I'm still trying to like remember to use it because everything mainly is still on my
Personal page.
yeah.
everything. So I'm trying to, come on, girl. Remember, you have an actual artist page on there, and
Yeah,
it's hard to remember.
And I feel like part of that, maybe you have the same issue, is that on your personal page, on my personal page, I reach a lot more people.
yes,
Then I do
yes.
with,
People
like,
want to
my
follow
fan
you on
page.
your personal page.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it sucks because you only have like 5,000 people that you can even add
Yeah,
on
so
there.
Exactly.
every day I'm constantly like
Deleting
people.
people.
and re-adding
I was scared
people,
I'm going to delete
you know.
somebody that's like
I
a
know.
friend. And be like, hey,
I
man,
try to like
Shawty.
delete the ones that are inactive because there's like a lot of them that are like
Yeah.
If there's
you know,
no
then I-
picture.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
so-
Over the years, it just changes.
and you know, I got my Facebook a long time ago, so I don't know how many of those deactivated Facebook accounts I have, but
I wish they had like one where you could just like filter out the ones that are
Right,
deactivated, so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
just
Instead of having to go through all 5,000.
Yes, man,
Yeah.
it's a hassle.
And then people get mad. You should just erase some people so you can add me to your page. Man, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add you to my page.
Right.
With, like one mutual friend.
Just
you're
because
like,
you have a bajo in your picture.
That's what the music page is for.
I tried to have like my Instagram and my fan page the same, and I have the regular where I have family and friends and also fans there, but I'm always joking around on that page, posting a bunch of
The memes.
a bunch of stuff,
They're hilarious, by
trolling
the
on
way.
people.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am.
Yeah.
But on my like page, I always send everything from Instagram to my like page and then share it on mine. So everything's everywhere all the time. Even
Right.
my Twitter's really slow, but I still put everything on there because you have to.
I don't know
I
how to do
forgot I
Twitter.
And now they have the
Yeah,
option on
Twitter's hard.
YouTube to where you could put pictures on there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
can put
can.
pictures on there and
Really?
You can put a
hashtags
story
and
on there
everything.
too.
What?
They have stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I never knew
I
that.
don't want to have to learn more
God,
stuff.
I know that's when I hear this. I'm like, damn it, that's another one.
Yeah,
God.
that's
But I
just
mean,
too much for me.
part,
I'm old.
it's part of the, it's part of
Being
what
who we are.
where we're doing.
Back in my day, you used to put something on a magazine, see, and you'd have to pay for it to be on there, and the
Right.
magazine would go out to everybody. It was called the Current.
Right.
They still have the Current, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
See, and I think that's what's making it so accessible for us to be able to reach people a little bit more. And that's why there's that anticipation, just a little bit more. People are able to talk to us one-on-one rather than back in the day when, you have to go and actually go to the concert, pay VIP,
And, like,
just,
Touch
And-
people
and
physically.
you could also
and I
Right.
promote,
can't.
Yeah,
you
I
could also promote your ads, whatever post that you want, and put on there what people
Which
you
people
want-
you're looking for.
looking
Yeah,
for.
what your
Exactly.
demographic
Demographic.
is.
Whether, everything from you go to this whatever city you want and just people show it there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
Really.
having said that, there are people out there who think that it has had the opposite effect, that there's too much accessibility to today's stars, and so it
Absolutely.
makes you not stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I can just find you. Like, I didn't realize my phone number was on there, and I got, like, phone calls. Like, who's this?
Yeah.
It's me from Facebook.
Oh
We're
my gosh.
friends. Holy
Oh.
shit.
Yeah, it can cross that line very quickly.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
learned that.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, this last time, I just got out of the hospital this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why when I was in there, I got flowers from a secret admirer.
Holy crap.
There you go.
It
was-
seems nice, but
it
it's
was
also scary as hell.
Yeah, it was like I was like, ooh.
They knew what room you were in. They found you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
so I was
crazy.
like, okay, I'm gonna have to.
which makes it difficult
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna have to
us
figure that
because
out.
we want to be able to have our fans, love us and appreciate us and everything like that. But then it's just kind of like, okay, so what is it to where's the line between the fan and just kind of like crossing that
the
and trying
creepy.
to be creepy and
Do you have creepy fans after you?
I don't, not yet.
Come on. I could name some girls.
It's coming, man. It's
wait
coming.
for it. Wait for it. You
I
never
love
know.
him so much. I'm going to have his babies and stuff. No, you don't get that?
I might have some fans out there that are like that, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not approachable. Maybe some people are intimidated.
I've been told that I'm a bitch. Yeah, I've been told that from people on this panel. They were like, I tried to come up to you one day and you were like all rude. I have social anxiety.
Are you serious?
So
Yeah,
when I go
yes. Me
into
too,
those areas where there's lots of people,
Right.
I'm like this the whole time. My face is, I'm
You
trying to
can't
be
help
nice,
that,
but I'm
though.
like, back
Yeah.
But
That's
anyways.
crazy.
I can tell you the opposite though. I met you when I was about 13 years old, and
Was
you
that
were
nice?
doing it was a mariachi thing that y'all were doing.
I remember that.
And that was the first time I ever got to meet you. This was
Is
before
that when
I
you met
even-
Shelly the first
That's
time?
where I met Shelly. That's where I
Yeah.
met Stephanie. And because of y'all, that's what got me interested in the
No,
Tejano
hombre,
music.
cállate la boca, güey. That's cool. See,
Yeah.
you never know. You have to be nice to everybody. And I learned that lesson when somebody was like, yeah, you were a total. I thought you were a bitch. I thought
You
you were a
had
bitch
me
this whole time.
laughing.
That's so
Really?
mean.
Oh, what's probably because my mom was there. Sometimes my mom would send me out to do things by myself, and she was like my security blanket. And if she wasn't around, I like shut down, and I was
Yeah.
not the same human being. But at one time, I remember I was doing a church festival for Johnny Martinez's sister. And the whole way there, I was freaking out and hyperventilating, and I almost threw up once I showed up.
Oh, man.
And
I've
it
been
was
there.
just a simple church festival, but it scared the heck out of me because I was going on stage as Rebecca instead of just doing background vocals for somebody
Right,
else.
Right, yeah.
I like doing background vocals. I don't mind. I'll do background vocals. It's way less stress. But yeah, I couldn't handle being up, like representing myself, being up front. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But okay, so we have some questions. Some people want to know tours. What are y'all going to be touring anytime soon? Do you have somebody booking for you? Have you found band members? How are y'all going to do your promotion that way, like live entertainment? You first, Steven.
You know, it's very hard, I feel, these days to find a group of musicians that want to start from the bottom.
Right.
You know, a lot
Yep.
of you musicians nowadays they're older.
Maybe
You
we
know,
should go to like the universities and find,
yeah, you
university
know,
players. Like they want to do. I want to play.
But
Yeah.
but see, the thing is that too, you have to find the musicians that want to play the
Tejano.
genre that we're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like Tejano, because right now our main audience are older people. You know, and
Yeah.
it's
We're
scary.
fixing that, though.
It's scary because I mean we're young and we're trying to do it, and because we're young, we want a young band as well. You know, because it complements us on
Sure.
stage. You know, of course, yeah, the older musicians they're seasoned. They know they have the discipline.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But you don't want to have to stop so they could do dialysis. Or, we got to stop here because he's got to have an appointment with his doctor, and to make
It's
sure
not
you
even
bring the
that.
mask so
I
you
think
have his
it's
oxygen.
I think it's more adding on to that. It's not so much that it's just that they're older. It's that they have lives too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they have families. They
They've done
So
it
just
already.
for the
They've already
record, I'm a
done
little older, and I'm not doing dialysis or any stupid stuff. I don't want to say stupid, anything like that.
You're very healthy. Look at how healthy he is. He's
Right.
nice and slim. Do you exercise, Gibby? Do you have a regimen that you follow?
Yes, but we're not here to talk about that. Just being said that
We want to know what keeps Gibby
you're
so
throwing
young.
everybody older under the bus there.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
I just say.
Yeah, no, you know they've
How
been
old
there,
are
they've
you,
done
Emmanuel?
that.
Like 23, 24?
I wish.
Okay,
I'm
20?
26.
You are?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
still
I look
young.
young though, so that
Yeah.
it's
But
good
you
for me.
want a band of 20-somethings so that you could
yeah,
go
you
on
know.
tour with and have fun.
Yeah.
And I can sympathize with that because I was always the youngest on every tour, period.
Me too.
Always the youngest. And it's not fun.
Yeah.
They would all go to nightclubs after the show, and then I'd be stuck with my mom at the hotel
Yeah.
playing video games
Yeah.
by myself. But,
But-
I was the star of the show, and it
Yeah.
doesn't make no kind of sense. So I get that. You'd want other people.
Yeah, but and to tail off of that is the older musicians in the industry, they're used to that paycheck that they're already getting with the bands that they're committed to, you know, if they're still playing. There's a lot of musicians that were playing back in the day, and where are they today?
Right.
You know, I mean, it was chingos of bands.
Not only that, we're going to offer them the exact
What do you
same
mean, where
pay
are they
that-
today? They're here, man.
that
Come
they-
on. Huh?
Well, you're here. I mean, he's been here since 1995.
But can you tour, Gibby? Can you tour? I think Gibby's trying to
I'm
say
eating
he'd like a
popcorn.
gig.
I've been here since 80.
Bam.
Oh,
wow.
at this
I
studio.
was playing in 75, 70, 72. God damn.
I was saying in this studio. Yeah.
But he's not old.
Yeah, he's not old. He's very.
No, he's not old.
He's not old.
No, not at all.
Gibby and I, we keep threatening to start a band together.
Ooh.
It's going to happen one day,
Do
out of
it.
necessity. Touring,
So,
yeah. Yes,
so,
Gibby.
so I got a gig. We'll
You
talk
do?
later.
What? There
We'll
you
talk
go.
later.
Bam, making things happen. We had mentioned, like, at one point, how do you reach the younger audience? And I say, how do we reach beyond that, an even younger audience? There used to be this thing called Sesame Street, where celebrities would come on and sing, clean versions of their songs and
Yeah.
teach kids, the difference between up and down and round and round. And I wish we had something like that, but strictly for Tejanos,
Right.
like to be able to target that young of an audience and
Well, what's
capture
helped
them while
me
they're
is
still
that, like,
excited about music.
Writing for other artists, a lot of the times I always do, like, on my YouTube channel, or I always do acoustic version of my songs, that's how I write the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I get more likes or more comments on that
Yep.
than
The
just
breakdown.
the regular music. So my plan is, I want to play, but I want to do more singer-songwriter in the Tejano scene, which I've never seen it before.
Right.
So it'll be something different. I do want a band, but I'd rather do it by myself, either two guitars or bajo sextos and accordion, but more acoustically. That's what I want to do.
Well, let's look at that. We have a bunch of places, at least here in San Antonio, I know, that there's this really cool hip thing happening in San Antonio. We just renovated all of downtown. So now there's these cool apartment complexes down by the river that cost an arm and a leg. But there's all these like hip, cool dudes walking around, eating tofu and
Yeah.
noodle. I don't know.
The
I don't know what they eat.
hipsters.
Yeah, hipsters.
Yeah.
And there's like this new sort of audience, and they're going to all these outdoor places where they can chill outside and have a beer, and I feel like there's no Tejano music in those areas. How do we make it happen? Like what you're saying, doing a sort of an acoustic singer-songwriter sort of open mic situation where we can capture that audience and let them know that Tejano music's cool, man. You're gonna want to be cool like us, man. We're hip.
Well, I don't know about here in San Antonio, but I do know in Houston that because we are going through a gentrification too in Houston, in the downtown parts and like the ghetto parts. You know,
it's good, but it's bad. But it's good, but it's bad.
Right? Yeah, and so I
I
think like the good thing about that hipster mentality is that they are open to new music. And I do know that in the Houston, like younger scene, it's just a matter of putting yourself out there. I mean, what's the worst thing they can tell you is no, right?
We have to package it in a way that appeals to them.
Right.
And I feel like those cool places where there's you could bring your dog.
Yeah.
What's that place right off of UTSA Boulevard and I-10? There's two places where they're huge. The Well, and then there's a place right behind the Well called like Pickles and something. I don't know what the heck, but there are cool places like that where it's where hipsters go.
Yeah, and so like I think like a way to probably do it is because Tejano's a mix of a lot of genres.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing. So I think like probably a good strategy to do that would, be to incorporate a couple Tejano songs with a bunch of other genres.
Yeah.
Other songs like maybe top 40 songs that are going on right now, and shoot, why not throw in a Mas, throw in a Jay Perez tune in there, and I promise you it'll get
to
received.
see people throw in a Demmi Garcia song.
Oh, yeah,
or
absolutely.
Monica Saldivar, Emanuel.
Yeah.
I agree to an
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah.
Because, you're saying let's throw in a Tejano song, but why does it have to be as old as Mas?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be. It's
Yet-
just an
yet
example.
another Maz song in my band, Top Shelf Band. I'm like,
Right.
do we have to learn
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
Maz song?
And
Yeah.
nothing against them, of course.
Oh,
They
yeah,
paved the way for
absolutely.
Tejano, and I mean the music's amazing. But a lot of people our age are also thinking, "Oh, that's my grandparents' music."
Yeah, exactly.
What I've come
Exactly.
to find out, though, as I'm performing or as I'm getting the crowd riled up, it's a blend. It's a balance that you have to figure out.
Respect for your elders.
Of respect for your
Yeah.
elders, but also a blend of, throwing in country, throwing in rock, throwing in little things that are going to make it a little bit better. I know
balance.
I've taken some songs that are like top 40 or, popular music, and we put a cumbia beat behind it, or we put a ranchera beat behind it. And it's because we want to make it accessible to the young people, but also fun for the
Familiar,
older and
yeah.
familiar. And then, twisting it up with, a standard. It makes
And
it
those
interesting.
are things that you can implement in your live performance, but not necessarily try and put it on the radio.
Right.
Because
yeah.
and I think people don't understand that there's a difference between what you're putting on the radio and what you're playing
Exactly.
in person. Your show is a production, and it needs to be entertaining no matter what you bring in
Yeah.
there. And we're not the only artists that implement other types of genres of music in our shows.
Right.
Everybody does something.
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. I just saw. I went deep into the web, and I saw K-pop. They were traveling through South America, and they were doing Selena songs and
Yeah.
all sorts
That's
of
so
Spanish
awesome.
songs. And I was like, who the
Yeah.
is going on here? They have really great pronunciation.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they work on that, man, because
Yeah.
they say Spanish words better than I do.
And if they can sing Spanish songs, why can't we sing English songs? Can't we all just get along? I say it's what I want.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, but I feel like I said before, I feel like now that there's a whole mess of new artists out there, that competition, I feel it. I feel it in the air. I feel the competition in the air, and I feel like we're going to see some really great productions, live productions of your stage show. They need to be produced. I'm not saying we need to have flames and stuff. I mean, flames
Wouldn't
are
it be nice,
cool,
though?
but I mean, this hair is highly flammable. We saw what happened to Michael Jackson in the '80s.
Right.
But no, just consider your set list, how it's going to go, what you're going to say in between. I know there's a lot of bands out there who just sing a song and then they stop. And there's like
No
even
interaction.
45 seconds between songs is too much. Yeah, and there's no
yeah.
interaction. They don't know how to talk to an audience. People need to pick up their games.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
it's
I
not
do.
just about getting up and singing a song.
Absolutely.
And you have to actually put on a show.
Right,
It's
it
kind of like about
matters.
Patsy Torres. She like tells jokes in
There you
between.
go.
She's got jokes memorized.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she just pulls them out of her sleeve. Oh, there's time to kill. Thank God. There was 2 Mexicans and they went into a bar. No. But that's what I love about her, because she's prepared at all times. I don't know if you noticed, but her makeup is always flawless and
of
finished.
course.
Oh, yeah.
And she's always ready to go. So good for her. I love her for that. I wish I could be more like that.
Yeah.
Same.
But we need to pay more attention to those performances. So having said that, so when are y'all tours starting? Are y'all on the road already, or I know you're performing, right?
Yeah, I've had a couple of gigs already.
Yeah.
I'm actually going back home to Colorado.
What?
Yeah, next month. Yeah.
But you just got here.
I know. Well, just for
Oh,
a
just to
gig.
visit.
Yeah, just to,
Oh,
for
okay.
yeah. We
I
have
was
a
gonna
show
say.
out there, and then also we're going to New Mexico, and trying to work out some details to go to Washington and Idaho. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
hopefully, we'll see.
You book your own gigs, or you have somebody do it for you?
Yeah, no, I do it myself. My brother, if he gets the calls, whatever, we kind of negotiate between each other. You know, my brother helps out a lot, but with a lot of the things that I do with the music, the production, the band, everything. Yeah, that's my.
And you're playing keyboards for David Lee Garza right now, or you did?
I used to, yeah.
You
I
used
used to
to.
play keyboards for David Lee Garcia right
Were
now.
you like totally tripping when you
Dude,
got that
know,
call?
Yeah, it was.
I'm not saying that you're too young for that gig,
Yeah.
but you're like the youngest guy up there.
I definitely was. Yeah, no.
And then you got the baby face, so it makes you look even younger.
Oh yeah.
In a good way.
It was awesome. It was a cool experience. Obviously, it's like a dream for a lot of people. It was a dream for myself, you know, to be on stage with those guys. And I think I put in like 10 months with them, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then COVID hit or whatever. But now I play keyboards for one of my favorite artists growing up,
Who's that?
Bobby Pulido.
No, hombre.
Yeah, so
Is he still sexy?
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, we
I'm sorry.
we saw
Yeah,
him at
no.
the state at Tejano.
Yeah, no, he's still got it, you know.
Still got it?
Yeah, you know, and all the
And
ladies
he's
they
put out
see it
new
for sure.
music
Yeah.
as well, right,
Yes.
Bobby Pulido?
I
Yeah.
think he has 2 singles that just came out last
Llórame and
Yeah.
Un Millón.
Yeah, something like that.
Pregúntale a Millón. Yeah, that was.
Nice. Now, I had been watching, my husband's like over it already, but I've just been watching so much Tejano podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brain is all fuzzy. But I have noticed there, you know, we've got all these new sort of TikTok heroes and stuff, and we were talking about, you know, how best to like monetize your TikTok, monetize your YouTube, and what worried me from what I was listening to is like the new TikTokers are sort of like the new radio. Like your TikTok is like its own radio station. And if you have so many followers, then some radio stations are bigger than others, period. They come
Yeah.
with a bigger following.
Sure.
So having to monetize, do you think that TikTokers should trade a positive review of a song for money?
Like a payola situation.
Yes.
No. No. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
They
that's
should just
never.
get sponsors and just do commercials and
That's
stuff.
never a moral thing to do. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, whether people follow it or not, you know, but I don't think that's ever the right thing to do ever. I mean,
I agree.
No, I
You know?
agree. I agree.
think if they're just saying that they don't like a song or they like it, I mean, that's up to them. But if you want to get together with the TikToker because they're so popular and promote your product, at the end of the day, we are a product.
Yeah.
And if that's the way you're going to get it out there, then you have to get out there and promote it.
Yeah.
And if they charge you whatever they do, I think you have to do it because that's the new way right now. If not, we're just going to stay behind. It's just
'Cause
everything changes.
I noticed they only show old music on their TikToks.
I mean, that's anything though.
But is it because they're waiting for the new guys to give them money, or
You know,
No, I just don't think. I think that's just what they know.
yeah?
yeah.
I think that's what a lot of other people know too. You know, so they're doing what I guess artists or radio stations would do is they're giving the people what they want. And a
Yeah.
lot of the mass majority of Tejano music listeners, they want to hear the old mas.
But do they?
They want to hear like La Mafia and Emilio and stuff like that. And I feel like when they do that, they get their views, their followers. You know, they what is it called when you make it big?
Yeah.
On TikTok. What is it? you're
Viral?
trending or whatever,
Oh,
right?
yeah, trending,
I don't know,
trend,
like yeah,
yeah.
like I'm not into TikTok. I just started one, yeah.
I know. I'm still learning it myself.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's very
Algorithms
time
on there,
consuming.
trying to figure it
I
out.
don't know who this algorithm is, but I need to make
Yeah, you know, so opposed to like
Algorithm.
putting a new song like hey, or
Yeah.
a new
like-
artist,
watch.
because nobody knows
New
them right now,
song,
you
yeah.
know. So like what Juan was saying is if you have to pay a TikToker or somebody that has that huge following in order for them to, I guess, promote what you got going on, it's kind of like just paying for like a radio ad.
So it should,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
guess that's a good way to look at it.
But do we pay for? But it's not a radio ad. It just needs to be separate.
The thing is, in the radio, if you pay for an ad, it's just gonna get locally. If you pay
Yeah, it's FM.
Pay for the TikTok,
TikToker, it's
yeah.
gonna be worldwide.
And I had talked with
Sure.
like Lexi about that. I was like, dude, you need to if somebody's going to promote with you, they need to know what they're getting. You've
Right.
got 240-something thousand followers. Homeboy's got close to 500,000 followers.
Right.
Yeah.
You're getting 500,000 people who are possibly going to be seeing or hearing your music.
Yeah.
There's a price for that. I understand that, but also you want to make sure that what you're promoting is something that's worth.
What's worth it?
Yeah, like you have to like it.
And it's
It
almost
actually
like
has to be good.
Right.
it's almost like purchasing the ads for like on Facebook and Instagram or whatever. You can go in and sponsor the ad or whatever on your page.
Or
It's
boost it.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like almost the same thing. Instead of paying Facebook or whoever, you're paying the TikToker or whoever it is.
I think I need to have like a marketing person in here next time, like a
Yeah.
Bonnie Garcia. Talk to me, Bonnie. What even does this mean? I am so like the more I talk about it, the more I
Yeah.
think about it, the more confused I become.
And then it's also a matter of if they're verified. I think that was the word.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh, verified.
verified.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If they're verified, that means they get around to many other people and not just to a select few. And unfortunately, with this genre, there's not a whole lot of our people that are on TikTok that are verified.
Get on TikTok, people. It's so much fun. I
I'm
love
starting to
TikTok.
learn that, man, because when I first got started on it, man, it was like pulling teeth. I just couldn't get on it, man. I couldn't. But now I'm starting to figure it out. But it's just very time consuming.
Yeah.
It's time consuming.
Once you get it, though, then you just spend maybe like 10, 15 minutes, and then
I always
it's done.
venture to cooking TikTok though.
Oh.
Or like the funny ones that you send
Oh,
me.
yeah. We're constantly sending some stupid stuff to each
what
other.
did that guy say? If I send you TikToks,
It's because I love you.
because I love you. If I send you TikToks, if I text you TikToks, it's because I love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love TikTok.
Oh yeah.
But I think you guys are all on. You haven't drank your. Oh, you probably. Can you drink?
I probably
you want me to
shouldn't.
drink it for you?
She's legal.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
I'm
wanna
legal.
drink
I
it.
just probably
I wanna
I
drink
should
it
probably
first.
just cut it a little bit. so,
Yeah, it's been a long weekend. I know you guys partied like all week.
No, this is pink lemonade.
Talk
so-
to me. I know. Talk to me about the events this weekend. I know a lot of you did the Tejano Music Fanfare. What were the numbers like, audience-wise? Was it just as packed as it was a couple years ago?
I want to say that it was genuinely packed for the most part during the time that I went on. I went on about 8 p.m. So it's not like the numbers that they used to be, obviously, because of COVID, right? A lot of people they're still scared. They're still nervous. They're still, trying to figure out, okay, is it even worth going out anymore? So when I went out there, I can't say that it was as packed as it used to be, but there was still a good group of people out there having a good time and drinking and dancing.
Did it feel like it did?
It definitely
is
felt
there a
great to be
different-
back.
Uh-huh.
I will say that. It just didn't feel as full or as,
Was the Fiesta Sucia there?
The what?
The lady with the blue
I know what you're
bikini.
talking
Do you know what
about.
I'm talking about?
And so I talked to Frank about that, and his answer was that they put this thing together hurriedly
Yes.
for obvious reasons because of the COVID.
Right.
So they were expecting, what
Minimal.
word do we use here? A smaller crowd.
Yeah.
They had no headliners because everybody was booked already.
Yeah.
Right.
So that should be said.
It was definitely
In
a
their
big
defense.
fair factor of
So
it.
then it was good for what it was,
Yeah.
having been put together.
Yeah,
at the
Yeah,
last
I
minute.
mean, for the time that it was allowed, especially with the short notice that there was, a lot of people were struggling and scrambling to figure out if they were even going to perform or not. And
That happens all the time.
It does. It happens all the time in this industry, you know? So some people were ready and some people were just kind of like, well, I'm booked. I can't do it, you know?
You know what I wish they had was a golf cart.
Thank you very much.
Can we just get a golf cart, people?
Okay.
Right.
Silly comment. Anyway, you guys talk about the
It's so
TikTok
not
thing so
silly.
much.
It needs to happen.
What about the other platforms like Facebook and Instagram and like that?
Well, I
That-
think
How does that work in that regard?
Well, Instagram, they all have the influencers everywhere.
Yeah.
You just got to find them the same way.
It's the same exact
Just like on
concept.
TikTok. And unfortunately, people don't want to pay. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Like even just a simple ad on Facebook is going to take you,
and it's not expensive.
yeah, it's not
It's
expensive.
not expensive. It's not like it's this huge investment. You know, I think it's worth it.
I did a
to do
Google
that.
ad once, not knowing exactly how much I was going to be paying. And I wound up paying like $300. I thought it was going to be like $25. And then I was like, where does $300 come
Oh,
from?
wow.
Turn it
Well, it
off, turn it off now.
Yeah, and it depends on the clicks, on the views,
Yeah.
on whatever you
They
do.
count
Verification
how many
too.
people
Same
they've
thing.
reached.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
stop reaching that many people.
And I think Tejano is very Facebook heavy.
Yeah.
You know, like
it is.
I've noticed that Instagram is very. That's more for other genres. Obviously, we need to get Instagram to where Facebook is, where Tejano's concerned. And I think TikTok's getting there also.
Right.
I heard
You know?
that Instagram basically put out a message saying that they know they have to compete with TikTok, so they're changing the algorithm to help support videos better on Instagram, and they're telling people please do videos on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
they're saying that you should add your hashtags in the comments, not when you're dropping it,
I see.
add it after the fact. And I was like, boss, why?
Yeah.
Why change it?
extra
Well, I
step.
just figured out how to learn this thing. Now you're going to change the
Right.
freaking rules on me. But yeah, somebody needs to just come up with a list. This is the algorithm. This is a list of what you should do. I'm good at following lists and orders.
Right.
Okay,
Right,
I can
yeah.
put IKEA furniture together faster than anybody I know. So give me the steps, and I will follow the steps. And where do you get these steps?
But
Like,
sometimes, like there's different companies where you upload music through. Sometimes I get emails from those companies saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a seminar on how to distribute your music, on how to do promotion." You just got to sign up for them. They're free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to do it.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's how you're gonna learn how to
TuneCore
get
does
your
a lot
music
of
out there.
those. CD Baby does a lot of those.
Yeah, they do.
DistroKid has a lot of those seminars where it teaches you the different
And
strategies and all
you
that.
might know 80% of what they're telling you, but that 20%,
You still.
I mean, you're gonna learn something new every time you look. You sit through that.
I had Mike Torres on here, I think the first show, and he said, I'm going to give you the links to all these books that you can buy. Plus, I can't get a hold of Mike Torres now.
Oh, there you
I know. Hey, Mike, are you watching? I
Are they
really need those
audiobooks?
links. Yeah, he said that, music industry for dummies and stuff like that, I guess. So.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different ways to build your social media following. Time of the day is a big
yeah.
one.
Say
You
like
know,
2 p.m. is the
like-
best time to drop something?
yeah. Well,
or-
it depends. You have to look at your analytics.
forget it then.
You know, you have to look at
And then
You
on
see,
what day to
and what
actually
day.
post.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But
you
I mean,
can schedule
this is
your
what
posts.
it takes for you to get your
Right.
people to look
yeah,
at your stuff.
You
Yeah.
you have to learn how to read your demographics, what time, and then not only just yours, but the demographics as a whole. What day do women look at this specific hashtag versus men? What time does this specific age group look at this
Yeah.
specific hashtag?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of studying, a lot of time goes into it, but I think that's what's gonna set apart who really cares about what they're doing.
And I think
You know?
why Facebook is so Tejano heavy or Tejano
Yeah.
driven is because it was the first platform we had before Instagram, before
Right.
TikTok.
It
So
was
people
MySpace.
were, and
MySpace.
MySpace,
Right?
I'm the only one.
No,
And
MySpace.
MySpace.
Who remembers?
MySpace for sure, but
who
at the
remembers
same time,
Zynga?
Mis
Oh,
pase.
no. at the same time though, Facebook was bringing people together that they didn't necessarily see for years when it first came out. I was MySpace too, but it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
as like
Yeah.
big as Facebook is now. And the cool thing about Facebook is that you can schedule posts. So even if you put like 3 or 4 or 5 different posts together, you can schedule them at
I've heard
different
people
times.
do that they'll do all of their stuff
So they don't have to
in
worry
one
about
big
it.
bulk and then be
Yeah.
like, this is going on this day, and it automatically
Right.
does stuff for you.
Yep. It's a lot of work, man.
It's
but
like
that's what
artificial
it
intelligence, and then the computers are going to come for us. That's okay. I don't mind. I'll be like, can you cook, though? But can you cook? Because I don't want to do that. You're going to do the dishes? Go ahead. Take over my life.
Yeah. It's because I've like also learned which social media platform to use for what thing I'm covering, like, because I do covers and stuff. So depending on the cover, I'll decide, okay, I'm gonna post it on Instagram, or you know what, I'm gonna skip Instagram and focus all of my attention on Facebook. Because sometimes, like, I have my biggest social media following on Instagram. However, I get the most activity on Facebook.
Like comments and stuff?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a lot of just planning, strategizing, time.
And then the hashtags that you use.
Hashtags are important. On TikTok.
I told her straight up, I'm like, because she posted something.
It was my very, my second post on TikTok.
She posted something on, it was first on your Instagram.
Ah, okay.
And I think it was a Jason Mraz song.
That one. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when she posted it, I was like, oh, girl, what are you doing? And she's like, what? Like, you need to post that on TikTok. Because we all just recently got TikToks because of, Nada de Ti. We were hearing all this, like, feedback from Nada de Ti. And I was like, you need to post that on TikTok. But here's what you need to use. Here's the hashtags that you need to use. Because I'm noticing. I would see, like, as I'm going through TikTok, I would see the For You page or FYP or, like, there's specific ones that you use so that you can make it to somebody else's algorithm.
Yeah. Nice. I was like, what's Fipe?
Fipe?
What is that? What, is it like a company? What is Fipe? Is it a name? Is somebody's like a Filipino name? Fipe.
Yeah.
What is Fipe?
And that's the perfect example, I think, of the difference between then and now.
Right.
Because back then, I don't think, well, I know Monica as a person and she's an awesome person, but I'm just thinking back in the day, I don't think she would be willing to share that piece of information with me.
And you were talking about the competition side of things, right?
Right.
So getting into that just a little bit, because I wanted to kind of touch base on that. I think there is like that competition in all of us, you know, because we all want to be there. We all want to be at the top. We all want to be number one on the charts. But I think it's a healthy competition compared to what it used to be, where it was just territorial competition. Nowadays I can look at these people and others and just be like, hey, I'm proud of you, dude. I'll text them, I'll talk to them, I'll talk to Juan, like, on social media. I'm like, I'm ready for the next song. Okay. But like, I can talk to these people and tell them, like, I'm rooting for you, rather than, be one way with them in person, like just in person, and then just completely talk crap about them behind their back. Yeah. It shouldn't have to be that way. We can all,
all you have
do
to
something.
do is share somebody else's post.
Exactly.
That's all you have to
When
do.
we come together like this, though, I think it helps.
It's a unified thing.
It's an icebreaker and a unifier, and it gets rid of that stigma that we might think that other people are out to get us.
Right. And it shouldn't be that way. It should never feel like, we're out to get each other, even though we're all rooting for each other.
Yeah, I think the mood is shifting a little bit, and it's shifting in the right direction, where there is this sense of camaraderie between women, but also between the men and peers in general.
Are there like cliques on Facebook?
I don't know about Facebook specifically, but I do believe that there are cliques specifically in different areas. I'm from Dallas, so there's not too many people out there that I like click with specifically. So if I'm going to click with somebody, it's going to have to be kind of where everything is at, which is like San Antonio based or Houston or Corpus, kind of in that general region.
Now, being not from San Antonio, would you still say that San Antonio is the home of Tejano?
No.
Yeah, nobody said that.
I would say it's mostly saturated with Tejano, but I wouldn't say that it's the home.
Nice. We're probably no home at this point.
Well, I think
we're all renegades.
The internet. It's very hard to pinpoint a geographical location because everybody's everywhere. It's not really like one specific place.
I think I struck a nerve.
You see us laughing over here. Okay.
Ay, Dios mío.
Oh, no.
This guy says Houston. Yeah, right.
I didn't say Houston.
No, yeah. That was over there.
That was me.
I thought it was you.
And I don't even know, where are you from? I know you said Colorado.
From Mars.
But like when you're in Texas though, like where are you?
I'm here in San Antonio.
In San Antonio?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yes, then that's because Houston's not the center of Tejano. I get it.
Oh,
Yeah,
just wait,
no.
Gibby. Just wait.
No, I'm just. I just speak on a point.
Just wait.
I can't count how many people have come through the door who have moved to town
Yeah.
for that very reason. Why did you move here?
Well, the
And that's
musicians
why
are
this-
here for sure. Yeah, the
All
musicians.
of the musicians are really good
and,
here.
And your big recording studios, Gilbert's, Mario's, Sevi's doing work too here, and who else is? I mean, there's a lot of.
That's great and
People
all, but
here-
if you were like me growing up and the last thing you wanted to do was Tejano music as a teenager, it was like you have to do Tejano music. Like if your last name ends in a Z.
So believe it or not, I didn't do that either. I started playing,
He started doing rock and roll.
yeah.
So
And they told me, if you want to make any money, you got to play those little cumbitas
I
and
was-
rancheras, man.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago, and look where it got me.
Yeah.
Well,
So there.
And I
So
believe it
there.
in too. I mean, I came from Colorado, and I moved here to San Antonio. I didn't move anywhere else. And I left my family, my
But
friends.
when you came here, were you like, did you know what was going to happen when you got here? Or were you
Oh,
just
no.
like, I'm just going to pack a bag
No,
and
yeah,
I'm going
we-
down to San Antonio, I'm just going to see what happens?
Me, my brother, and his girlfriend at the time, we moved out here blind. We
Really?
yeah. The only friend that we had out here was Himencio.
Nice.
Wow.
That's a
he
good
op-
friend to have.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of friends.
he opened his doors for us, and we stayed with him for a week or two before getting into our own place. And not long after that, my brother started playing bass for Stevie D, and I started playing accordion for Ladez.
Nice.
And
Those are nice guys
yeah,
too.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and
Big guys.
yeah.
we didn't know what the market was out here. Like
Man,
as far as
that's
the
a leap of
clubs
You
or
just kinda fell into
anything.
it
Yeah,
blindly.
we
Leap of
just
faith.
all our life, we grew up wanting to do Tejano music, and everybody around us is saying, "Well, why are you guys still here in Colorado?" And well, this is where our family is, And then we got older, we graduated high school, and because at the time my family wasn't gonna move down here to San Antonio. They're still in Colorado.
That's a big
Your
commitment.
parents are in
for-
San Antonio?
Y-
I mean,
no,
Colorado?
they're still in Colorado. So we're out here, just me and my brother,
Yeah.
essentially.
Wow, man.
We have our friends now, and we have the people
Yeah.
that we call family now.
How long have y'all been here?
Almost 3 years. Wow. Almost, yeah.
Good for y'all, man.
Yeah,
Good
so
for y'all.
it was a blind leap of faith, to say, but we came here to San Antonio. It's because growing up, this is the home of Tejano.
So you just answered your question.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So it kind of is. It is, but it doesn't feel. Once you're here, it doesn't feel like it is. But it is.
Well, it's just changed.
It's a little
Yeah.
different.
It's
now,
just
yeah.
different. It's not gonna be like the '90s. People keep on saying, "Why can't it be like the '90s?" It can't because it's
can't
not the
because
'90s.
it's not the
Yeah.
90s.
You gotta keep
Unfortunately,
moving forward.
people haven't realized that the border already crossed us.
Right.
There's a bunch of more Mexicans here now than in the '90s.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly what he said.
and that's why the radio is different,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
and that's why Tejano music is different.
I have a question.
It evolves, man.
With there being this sort of not when we're not at odds with one another, but there's like the world of norteño and banda, and then there's Tejano and everything that entails. Why are we separate? Can we coexist? Can we do some duets with banda bands and norteño bands, or is that like a faux pas? Are we not allowed to talk to them?
See, that's the thing with me. I do whatever.
I just don't even know. I'm like,
Yeah,
I talk
like,
to
I think
everybody.
it's
I don't
I
care.
think it's
that's
a
the thing with
personal
me.
thing.
I record whatever I want to record, and I let the people decide if it's Tejano or not. I just do music because I love to do music,
Right.
Absolutely.
and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want to do a duet with a banda, you can do it. Why not?
Why not? Like, what
You could
rule
do the
says you
same-
can't do
What
that?
rule says you can't do
Yeah.
it? I feel like people
but-
think there's a rule there.
Yeah,
and
but
they
we
shouldn't.
say that,
Yeah.
we say we should be able to. But what do they say?
Yeah, I don't know if they like it.
Because that's a whole different market right there, and you're right. There's a lot of people from, Mexico here now, and they want to hear like the bandas and norteños or whatever,
But not
and,
necessarily. They never heard the '90s music.
like
So
Tejano.
whatever's on the radio now, to them, that's the new Tejano.
That's
That's
Tejano
new.
to them.
Whether it's norteño light, and some people get mad because I think the norteño light's the new Tejano because the Tejano station
It's
started
evolved.
playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
it's evolved.
94, 95, they started playing Intenso, Duelo, Intocable,
Yeah.
Límite,
Yeah.
and that's norteño light.
Yeah.
And then you have to
And it's
figure
considered
out.
Tejano now.
Yeah, and you have to figure
'Cause
out
they play on the
what
Tejano
is
stations.
what is the qualifications of norteño light or tejano.
Right? Or what am I even looking for?
It's
when
all
I can
instrumentation.
distinguish
See, but
them?
there's nothing wrong with norteño light.
There isn't.
That style and the old style, you can mix them together and
Are you-
make
I wonder
Confusing of
if the
whatever.
people that have a problem with it are the ones that are these old Tejano loyalists that don't really want to see Tejano evolve, which I've kind of seen a little bit from the veterans and things
No,
like
I don't.
that.
I don't think
You
that
don't think
because they want to be successful.
Yeah.
And to be successful, you got to be
gotta
with the
spread
You
out.
have to
times.
be ready.
to
You got to be
evolve.
with the times.
Absolutely.
And you have to eventually record different in order for
Yeah.
people
like
to
even
start
Usher
so
did like
considering you.
some reggaeton, and so
Yeah.
did that other kid that looks like a lesbian. What's his name? Bieber, Justin Bieber. Yeah, and he
you
was
say that
like,
looks like a
despacito, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have the capital.
that's
to-
true.
to
but
be able to
but I
promote that.
feel like what they did, we can do. We
Absolutely.
can. We
But
can.
it's
Other
been
genres
done.
cross over
Yeah.
all the time.
But now it's been done.
But now it has been done. I want to see that happen. I want to see those two sort of worlds mesh and get along. I feel like we've been playing their music since, like you said, since the '90s, and they never like returned the favor. They don't play our stuff on their radio stations.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm like, we've been scratching your back for so long.
Right.
But they don't play it not because they don't want to, it's because it's not going to make them any money.
Ah, shit.
It's all
The
about
radio
that.
station
at the
is
end
all
of the
about
day.
ads. If you got to sell ads, and if you don't have people listening to that music, to that radio station, then you're not going to sell ads.
So we just need to create the numbers that will generate.
Yeah.
And the numbers have to be correct.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
big
that's what
one.
we were talking about with internet radio. Some of
That's
these
a big
internet radio
one.
stations
That's
don't
the
even
problem.
They don't report.
report, and
Yeah.
it's because they don't get enough listeners. Also, so
But it's still taking away from any kind of process that we're trying to
Any progress.
accomplish.
like
Right.
illegitimately we have the numbers, but legitimately we don't have the numbers.
Yeah.
But they need to be legitimate so that we can start creating something for ourselves.
Exactly.
So it's like we're trying, but while in the process we're shooting ourselves in the foot
Yeah.
because we're not doing it 100% the way we need to be doing it.
Yeah,
But at the same time, we
process.
just want to get our names out there. So we're willing to do whatever it takes as long
Some
as somebody's
people.
playing our music,
Yeah.
Some people.
but at the same time shooting ourselves in the foot because we're losing those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's a process, man.
It's
It's been a
do you
process, and
see
it's
what I've been going through?
still going to be a process, you know, and it's going to take a collaborative effort, you know, I think with everybody it's going to be hard to get everybody on the same page but, you know,
I think it gets to the point of like, instead of talking about it, we actually take action to do it.
yeah, be about
Because
it.
we've been talking about it for
But
years
what even would
now.
that first step look like?
Holding people accountable.
Fuckers.
good answer.
Holding people accountable for what's really going on, what the numbers really are, and not trying to hold back on other people just because they're not fans of those specific artists.
But like Manuel's doing the old classic Tejano,
Yeah.
and people like it.
Yeah.
I listen to his CD all the time but I like, and it's new. But if you don't promote it, he's doing it. But the other people, if they don't promote it,
Right.
then they're never gonna get it. You know,
Now,
and
can somebody be successful just online? Can you have a career if you're only promoting through social media and not actually going to stations and stuff?
I mean, I feel like you kind of do very well online.
I've been successful more because of my songwriting, and
Yeah.
it translated to my career as a singer songwriter, of course. But with my band before, that's why I have a lot of followers too. I played with my old band 17 years, and I did the touring. I started playing since '98. I did my groundwork. I knocked on doors, so people know who I am, and that's what people gotta do. You gotta go out there and knock on doors. You gotta. Sometimes we used to wait for a meeting outside a publishing company, for example, me trying to give a song for 2 hours because they didn't know who I was.
Pinche cabrones.
And but you got to do that. You got to go
Yeah.
out there and
Absolutely.
work for it.
And do what
Nothing's
do
gonna
what
come
it
to you for
takes.
free
In person.
and easy.
then.
Yeah.
So
and you
it's
have to take the
it's-
rejection with it too.
You gotta do both.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much work. I give up.
And you know, like this she's a young girl, and she told me, I can't find anybody who wants to work within my budget as a new artist, as far as doing graphics, doing her album cover, doing her website, doing things like that. And, you know, I told her, I'm like, well, Mama, learn how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, learn how to do it yourself. I because I was in the same boat. I mean, you're a new artist. You don't have a lot of capital. A lot of these people are doing, everybody's doing it with their own money.
Yeah.
You know? So teach yourself Photoshop. Teach yourself Dreamweaver. Teach yourself how to do all these things. Teach yourself these analytics. You know, how to read these charts and how to, all of this. So you don't have to ask for anybody's help anymore. You know, that's what it's going to take, unfortunately.
Yeah, ask for advice, don't ask
Yeah.
for help.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But I also think, you know, with that too, if you're going to teach yourself those kind of things, the Photoshop or the producing or your songwriting and stuff,
Yeah.
get a credible
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, don't get
Oh, yes.
your mom and your dad or your your
See,
family to be like,
too
hey,
many
do you
yes
think this
people.
looks
Yeah,
like?
don't get any yes men.
Because you're
Right.
gonna start releasing stuff that's just
Subpar.
trash.
Right.
I'm just gonna put it.
Oh my
'cause
God,
there's
no,
a
it's
lot
so
of
great.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff out
Right,
there.
girl.
You know,
I'm
that
guilty
just-
of that too. I'm like, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, you know, and we shouldn't. I mean,
I love you, man.
it's hard because you don't want to bash on
No,
people. You
but
don't want
that's
to
what
talk
people
shit.
need.
But
I-
at the same
It
time,
all
you,
comes back to
you need to be
accountability.
truth. You
Yeah.
need to be truthful because there's a lot of
Yeah.
poor quality
Oh, yeah.
shit out there. you
Oh,
know?
my gosh.
Sorry.
Yes.
So quality stuff, networking via social media, learning the analytics, learning how to self-promote,
Right.
and actually getting down on the ground level and getting out there to DJs, and not just radio DJs, but the club DJs.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's where the music makes it. I think we had a really great panel today. Man, so much was said. Thank you guys.
Thank
Oh my
you.
gosh,
Thank
y'all
you.
are the new icons. Can I just say, I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna make
Oh,
it.
man.
It's a thing now. I said it, so it is.
Oh,
Thank you for being here with us on another episode of Gibby's Tejano Roundtable. Thank you, panelists. We'll see you guys on another episode. Good night.
yay.